This is a slop video at best. I really won't like the result of this video, but that's okay. That's fine. I wanted to talk a little bit about Linux systems in general. Right now, I'm in Windows and I hate Windows. I've been using Void Linux for around no, maybe a little bit less, like let's say 4 months using Void Linux. And I bought a new mouse, which is let me check. It is the Pulsar X Lite Crazy Light Mini. I bought it because it has a really good sensor. A friend recommended to me, and it is really light. It is 41 grams, so it's super light. I mean, it's on the name, Crazy Light, right? But yeah, the sensor was also pretty good. It was pretty reliable, and I just thought it would be a good idea. But the software to control the LOD on the mouse was not available in Linux because of course it wasn't. No software for mouses for peripherals, no software is available in Linux for some reason. And I didn't want if I wanted to change the DPI, I could use the pre-made configurations, or I could just turn into uh, an external app that do that. But to turn the LOD, I actually needed the mouse app, which I didn't have, so that was an issue. Um, and so I installed it in another computer that has Windows in it, my secondary computer, and I installed the software of the mouse there, configured it there, and then I played on my main computer. But it did I didn't see any changes in the LOD. If you don't know what LOD is the liftoff distance. It's how high up, from your desk, your sensor can be that it still picks up and moves your cursor. Good mice will probably have around 1 millimeter or less. In this case, I think it's like zero point 0.7 is the minimum and 2 millimeters is the maximum, which is barely any difference to be honest, at least for me. And so I was using this mice and I really wanted the LOD higher because I thought it would make a difference. It doesn't make any difference. And I didn't realize any difference when I configured it into another computer. So I thought, oh, that's the type of problem that Razer mice has, which is you need to have the mouse has no onboard memory, so it cannot save the settings. What is telling it settings is on the computer. You need to have the program open at all times instead of flashing the new configuration to the mice. And so I thought that was the problem. That wasn't the problem at all. The configurations do get saved, but I did I did install Windows on my main machine to see if it worked better. It didn't. I used the software. Software is working, and still no difference. Like the thing that I wanted to change actually changes nothing. The LOD changing it from zero point 0.7 to 2 millimeters just doesn't make that much of a difference as you think it would. But still, that's not the main point. The main point is that after I came back to Windows, I just haven't gotten around to installing Linux back for a couple of reasons. One is because I just don't feel like tweaking with my computer right now. And the moment there's like 3 phases, maybe 4 phases to Linux. No, let's say 3 phases to simplify it. There is this setup phase, which goes from researching which distro will you pick to you install the distro. With that, there's a research phase, and then there is the setting up phase. The setting up phase, it's annoying. It's the one that you face a bunch of problems, the ones you see the limitations, the basic limitations of your distro. You know what you can and cannot do. You know that if you install blah 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 through blah blah blah, you have issue number 576 that was never documented for some reason. And that's when you get frustrated the most. That's when beginners quit. And then after that, you have the good phase, the phase that you don't need to open your terminal for anything because you already have all your workflow is outside of the terminal. You already set it up. Everything is just ready for you. And I was already in phase three, and phase three is amazing, right? And but getting there takes you around a week because you have a lot of programs and some things you just forget. Some things maybe you want to customize it. And if you are in like ADE, that's super easy. But if you are in i3 that's a bit more annoying with config files. So it depends on what you pick too. Void Linux is also not exactly a beginner friendly distro, so that also doesn't help a bunch. I wouldn't recommend a unstable distro for beginners because I feel like if you have a responsibility to upgrade your system, to update your system, that's just like not very good to give that responsibility to users. And I was just not in the mindset of having that to go through this 3 steps, you know? And so instead of doing that, I just stayed in Windows. And Windows has been really annoying, especially like right now. I'm gonna cut whatever gameplay you have in the background. Now you're seeing me in OBS. This this menu is so annoying. I hate this. So why does it take all of my screen space? Why? Why? What are those pinned apps? When did I pin those? When did I unpin this? Like I never pin those things. I'm just having some random shit. This auto category, this takes so much space. I don't want this, like, just give me a clean menu. Just give me this first section right here, this is all I need. All I need is this. All of the other things is just totally unneeded. Why would I need any of that? Why? Why would I need any of that? Just those small details that start pissing you off. Uh, like I became so reliant on the taskbar. Like, why do I? Why am I not wanting to just like? Why can I not just have a command like a hotkey to open my browser? Why can't I add a hotkey to open my browser? Like the most basic thing you do when you open your computer is opening your browser. So why can't I add a hotkey to do so? Why can't I add hotkeys for anything at all? Like I'm not a person who likes customizing a lot. I'm not a person that's gonna you're gonna see rising their computer. I also hate transitions. And I hate and I won't say I hate bloat. I love bloat, but the bloat that I pick, not the bloat that comes installed, because I don't know what you installed on my computer. I hate that sensation that I never know what is on my computer. I installed the first thing that I did was installing Windows debloat. That's why I have nothing. But it still comes installed with so much shit. And a part of that, there's a lot of bloatware that is not really specified. Like it's not really apps. A part of telemetry in general, tracking in general, I just don't feel like. I'm using Firefox right now. I use Firefox pretty often because it's very easy to use. It has all the features I want, but I kind of wanted to change it to LibreWolf, go back to a more secure type of thing. Because LibreWolf also does everything that I like, you know? And it's also a super easy to use browser, and it's just a little bit more secure. It already come included with uBlock Origin, which is amazing. But they do have some pretty good tracking, like security features, which is exactly what I'm looking for. I don't care about RAM usage, like, oh, you open 3 Chrome tabs and it consumes a bunch of RAM. First of all, that's just not true. Second of all, 99% of this RAM is not because your browser is bad, it's because the website is poorly optimized. So it doesn't make a lot of sense to me. There are some browsers that have so much telemetry that the telemetry itself is the one that is like eating up your RAM. So when you open it, it just starts eating up your RAM. But the concept of browsing through the internet is not something that should take you more than 8 gigabytes of RAM to do properly. I have a Windows 10 computer with 8 gigabytes of RAM that is capable of like opening 20 tabs without lagging, watching like 3 YouTube videos while editing like a Google Docs and messaging friends on Discord. And it just does not lag because you don't use as much RAM as you think you do. And this, my main computer, has 32 gigabytes, which is less than I'll ever use, to be honest, because um, I barely use any RAM like for anything at all. I don't host any LLMs. I don't I don't play any heavy games. I play like Minecraft, and that's as much as far as I go. Play Sound Space. I play maybe Rithia. I play. Yeah, CS, but CS is also not that heavy. And my computer in general does not have enough horsepower for me to push it to an extent where RAM would be my bottleneck. Like it has a 2050 mobile version, and I think it has let me check. Let me check my specs, I forgot. It has 32 gigabytes of RAM, NVMe SSD 1 terabyte. It has 2050 mobile edition, 4 gigabytes of VRAM, and it has a Ryzen 5 7535HS. So 7535HS, which is HS line is hyper slim or something like this. The H is like super good, and then the S is for the slim version. So it is a good yet not very power hungry chip that does not allow for like overclock at all, which I don't care. I don't do overclock. At least from my understanding, by the way, I don't have a very deep understanding of my system, or any system in general. I don't have a deeper understanding on anything computer wise. That's also another thing. Come to my screen again. This is kind of cool, but I don't like it. This, wait, does this have anything? Yeah, no. This is kind of cool, but again, I also don't like this. I don't like this menu. I don't like having so many tabs. I don't like needing to open my task manager to see startup apps. How does that make any sense? But I don't like the UI of task manager. And you're like, oh yeah, but Linux doesn't even have a task manager. Yeah, Linux has nothing. Linux is just late. It has nothing. I mean, depends on the distro. I feel like some distros have. Wait, what does like what do Linux distros use to as a task manager? Because I know we always use btop, right? Because btop is the go. But what do other people use? Because I imagine they would have an app because they don't like TUI. Cut back to my screen again. Cut back to my screen. This is btops. This is btops right here. It's so cool looking. It's so hacker looking too. Like it's just like a CPU thing, and then has all your processes on the side, and it shows you everything, each cores, and then shows RAM, shows you the disk. It just looks so cool, and it all runs in your terminal emulator. So it just looks amazing, you know? We love this. I miss fetching. I miss doing this. I miss opening my computer and being greeted with like something like this, something like this, something like this. And yeah, I just miss it so much. If I install Linux, if no, I will. When I install Linux back, I'll probably just go with Debian. I will probably not use Void. Void is very easy to use and install, and it's quicker than I thought, like to install packages. Because Void Linux does not use uses a different package manager, which is called XBPS, and XBPS doesn't have as many uh packages as other package managers, but I feel like it's not lacking at all. I feel like it's good enough. It served me very well. To be fair, I'm a very beginner-ish. I'm like a very beginner at Linux in general. I don't do any crazy shit. I just use my system as a normal computer 99% of the time. But I do enjoy having a little bit more control of my system. A little bit, not that much. Just knowing I'm doing something cool with my computer just sounds pretty cool. And before people say Arch, 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 for some reason my main computer does not work in Arch. In my secondary computer, I did put Arch in it, but I just dropped it afterwards because I wanted to have a stable distro in it instead of Arch. I wanted to have a stable distro on my secondary computer because I it's my secondary computer. I'm not using it every day. And the times that I'm using it are times that I cannot have it like broken. I cannot have it break like at any point. I need to have it fully working all the time. So that's what I did. I just had it there. And then afterwards I switched to Windows because there was like a Wi-Fi issue that I was having because of the Wi-Fi of the place that I was using at. I don't remember exactly what it was. It was a couple months ago. And so I just uninstalled Debian and uh installed Windows back. And Windows 10. And Windows 10 does not is end of life, which means there are no more updates, which means no intrusive updates anymore. So I guess it's a win. And I don't really care about um anything else in there. I could probably solve the issue if I really wanted to, but I needed it for tomorrow and I was in a hotel then instead of in my house, and so it just wasn't the best solution to try to solve it in Linux instead of just installing Windows and everything just working again. If you guys have any ideas on what distro I should get, because I will install Debian tomorrow. But if you guys have any idea on what distro should I get apart from Debian, don't get me anything like very mainstream because I probably already looked at it. I've been using Linux for a year now. Has it been a year already? Probably, or probably yeah, probably yeah. I've been using Linux for about a year. I've heard of many of the mainstream distros, so I probably already know them. Or maybe try to convince me of using them. I don't know. I don't expect anybody to watch this and be like, "Oh yeah, no, I really know about Linux." So that's interesting. I also wanted to make some more videos about Linux, about bloatware in specific, like how KDE consumes 3 GB of RAM, which is not which is not much better than Windows. If you use like a Ubuntu KDE, a Kubuntu system, or even normal Ubuntu with GNOME, you are not getting much better performance at idle when you compare it to Windows. There's just a little bit less bloatware because Ubuntu already comes with a lot of bloat. Well, not a lot. It's way less, but it still comes with bloat. KDE and GNOME just consume so much RAM that it's kind of like the same as using Windows. Okay, no, a new version before I finish this video. A lot of beginners want to go to Linux because they don't like specific things about Windows. And then when they're picking the distro that they're going to choose, like they're going to use, right? Instead of solving the problems that they had with Windows, they just do the same. The distros that they pick have the same exact issues. So some people want to go to Linux because they hate the updates. And I see a lot of people that really, really, really hate the updates, which by the way, I don't really hate the updates. I feel like it's kind of annoying, but this is just like an annoyance that every once in a while I need to go through. So yeah, it's not that bad. And then instead of picking a stable distro that you never need to update your computer, they pick Arch. They pick Endeavor OS, which is an Arch variation. So they pick an unstable stable distro, and in unstable distros, you need to update your computer. The difference is instead of they telling you in your face, update now or I'll kill you, they don't tell you anything. And then if you don't update, things would just start to break because that's just how it works. It was made to be like that, right? You complain about something and then dive into Linux to solve the issue, but you just get into the same issue. The other thing is that, oh, Windows has so much bloat, proceeds to pick Ubuntu. If you want nothing in your computer that you didn't choose, then pick a distro that comes with nothing. Do a Debian network installation. Then you start with nothing, and then you can install whatever the fuck you want. I could probably make a no, make a video talking about distros, like the distros I've used. Though I don't think it will be any different from any other video, because like we already know that. Oh yeah, if you have a easy to use, just go with Zorin OS, go with Debian, go no, not Debian, but Zorin is a good idea. Zorin is low key a good idea, but at the same time, I just see no point in using Zorin. Because when we talk about Zorin, is that it looks like Windows. It uses KDE. It's configured in a way that it feels like Linux. It feels like Windows, sorry. It feels like Windows and it just feels right. Feels like very familiar. But at the same time, apart from the telemetry, apart from the like tracking, you don't get a lot of advantages. It's not lighter. It does not come with like It does come with less bloatware, but it still comes with quite a bit of bloatware. It still comes with things you don't need. It still comes with packages you don't need. So I don't fully see the benefit of the trade-off of Linux, a lot of things not running, right? Or you having more trouble for you to make them run against no telemetry. It might vary from person to person, but in my personal brain, my brain says that I don't really care about telemetry that that much. I really like the idea of having control. That I really like that. And that's why I like Slate distributions. Because I am the one who's picking out the packages. Well, more specifically, ChatGPT is the one who's picking out the packages, but it's almost the same thing. Almost the same thing. I use ChatGPT for everything. If something is not working, I have enough knowledge to fix the easy problems by myself, but some of them are just a little bit more niche, and I just run to ChatGPT, which he's usually able to save me. Yeah, I just wanted to make a video about how I wanted to go back to Linux, and I'll probably make another video when I actually do go back to Linux, which is probably going to be tomorrow, but it's not going to be posted tomorrow, because why would I post it tomorrow? I also need to make a video of me making a home server because I really need to make a home server. Redo my home server. I'm gonna explain it later. I don't really care. It's late now. I'm gonna go to sleep. Bye bye.